Welcome to Mostly Horror Movie Night.
Mostly.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Sean.
That was nice. That was different. That definitely is different. I like different.
Yeah.
Different's good.
The past like 3 times I've done mostly.
Yeah, that's true. This time it's just mostly.
Yeah, just a quick one.
We're back. We're back with another episode. Another amazing, wonderful interview with another eclectic guest. We're getting a lot of awesome guests from different varying places in the horror community. And honestly, just in general. This episode, we have Allie Bishop as our guest.
Yes, we do.
For those of you who don't know, Allie is a special effects makeup artist. Also just an overall artist. She does so much cool shit. Very, horror centric with what she does, her artwork and that sort of stuff. We failed to mention it specifically in the interview, but if you want to check out Allie's work, her Instagram is at Alexandria Bishop on Instagram. So again, it's A and then Alexandria Bishop on Instagram. And then she has an Etsy with a lot of her really cool like sculptures and that sort of stuff that she sells, and some of her illustrations and that sort of stuff as well. And on Etsy, her name is Allie Bishop Artwork. So after you listen to the interview, before you listen to the interview, go check her stuff out, because her Instagram is, I literally love following her and seeing all the stuff that she posts all the time.
Yes. Dude, I truly cannot recommend enough that everybody go and follow her. It's just a great way to spook up the feed, man. Yeah. She is just constantly like, there's just so many cool images that she's posting, everything from her art to, things that she's stoked about and inspired about. And it's just, when you click on someone's profile and it's just a visually pleasing, like put together feed and aesthetic, she nails it. She is Halloween to her core.
That's true. That's true. You know who else has a great horror feed? A great like Instagram that you should follow?
Who?
If you're not following, you should follow Mostly Horror Movie Night.
Mostly Horror Movie Night.
Our Instagram.
That's us.
At Mostly Horror Movie Night on Instagram.
We're those guys.
On Twitter, follow us at Mostly Horror. Again, just you'll be able to keep up with everything that we do, all the games that we play. You'll see the guests as soon as we announce them. All that good stuff.
Do it. And I'm giving you like the smoothest, cleanest virtual high five. Like if you do it, you just imagine me and you, just a good high five, a solid high five. Eyes
on elbows. You'll never miss. The other thing, obviously, before we talk about a couple of things, if you're one of the 15 lovely, beautiful humans at this point who hasn't given us a review on Apple Podcasts, if you haven't lived enough the review, go to Apple Podcasts, give us a review, talk about what you like. If you're feeling dandy, talk about what you don't like. You don't have to. If you just want to talk about what you like about our podcast, we appreciate that too. But as we've said before a million times, all of the reviews help, and we don't want to sit here and hold out a cup for your reviews, but if you want to do it, we appreciate it.
We appreciate you so much. All right, Steve, can I tell you about a cool thing that arrived at my house today?
Of course you can.
Dude, have you ever seen Practical Magic?
No, when you said it, I was kind of confused originally.
I had a feeling that you were. Yeah. Dude, it's Sandra Bullock at her bulliokest.
That's good.
Also, Nicole Kidman's in that movie, and there's just no other way to say it. She's so hot in that movie, Steve, and you got to watch it. It's a great movie. It's just about witches. To be honest, knowing you're probably not going to love it anywhere near as much as I do. It's a total like witchy, like 90s witch rom-com.
Yeah, that's what I'm envisioning.
But dude, you put the lime in the coconut, Steve. And I know that there are people listening right now that are freaking out because it's just a really good movie, and you should totally watch it.
You got like the physical of it? What did you get?
I got that boy on VHS.
Nice. Did you get it
that's
from
what I'm saying.
The VHS guys, whatever they're called?
Yeah, I'll totally just give them a little thing.
Yeah, which we should plug for sure.
Yeah. They do not pay us, but Horror HQ, if you guys are into VHSs at all, like horror VHSs, they are a stellar company to buy from. The prices are great. Obviously, you're going to find some stuff that's really hard to get. It's going to be a little pricier, but it's still going to be cheaper than if you found it like at a convention.
Oh yeah.
Like
generally their stuff is very well priced, like surprisingly well priced.
Exactly. You can get away. Like I recently made an order and I got like Witches, Cujo, The Exorcist, and right, and Beetlejuice. And I spent with shipping, I spent like $24.
That's crazy. This
insane.
Sounds like an advertisement. It's not.
It does. It's not an ad at all. That I would love for them to actually like interact with us and to get some paid whatever.
What's it called really quick? Just so I can Google it.
Horror actually no, it's not. It's called Frightmares HQ. So I plugged it wrong at the beginning. See, and that's because they're not paying us.
Yeah, Frightmares HQ. It's funny because I showed you them, and now I don't remember their name, but I'm gonna look them up because I might need.
I forgot it was you that showed them to me.
Yep, I might need me some stuff from them. Cool.
I've ordered like 3 or 4 times since you've shown me.
No, they're definitely dope.
Yeah.
So you got Practical Magic. I got something cool too. I sent you a snap of it, but I collect Blu-rays. I love physical media. Obviously, you love physical media as well. There's a really cool resale store in Manhattan called Book Off. I try to only let myself go once a month. I go once a month, check out if there's anything new that I want to get. I have over 260 different Blu-rays. Like I've been building my collection.
Wild.
And I have like a want list. So normally I'll pop in, check out things and look at my want list. I've already gone this month, but my girlfriend and I, Sydney, we were in the area and she was like, do you want to go to Book Off? I'm like, of course I do. I found the collector's edition of Behind the Mask, which is so cool. It still has the like original cover, but on the inside you can flip it and make it the new cover, the collector's edition cover. I have wanted this physically on Blu-ray because like you can get it on DVD for not a lot, and like it was like a little expensive, not super crazy, but very stoked that I found that too.
Oh, dude, it's amazing. It's
and
so
cool. We just talked about Behind the Mask a little bit on the Morbid episode we just did. So
absolutely we did, and I can't recommend that movie enough. I would say that is absolutely an underrated, not enough people seem to know about it. It's not secret, people know, but it deserves more praise and notoriety than I think that it has.
Totally.
It's an amazing movie. If you're a horror fan, you will love Behind the Mask.
Yep, exactly. And also another horror thing that just got I think it just got its first trailer. It just got its first trailer today.
Tell us, say the name.
We're recording this early on May 19th, but the trailer and the kind of images for Netflix's adaptation of Fear Street just came out.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna throw up. It's gonna be amazing.
It looks neat. It's gonna be it's 3 separate movies put out on 3 separate weeks. So they're doing it July 2nd, July 9th, and July 16th. And it's 3 like different years, so 94, 78, and 1666. So I'm very excited. It's obviously based on R.L. Stein's books, but it's going to be rated R, so that's interesting and should be fun. We've talked a little bit about Fear Street in the past. It's one that I am ashamed to say that I just didn't really grow up reading. I saw the books later. Like I knew about Goosebumps way before. I randomly got like 2 Fear Street books for Christmas one year. Okay. And they did it because they knew I was a Goosebumps fan and they saw R.L. Stein. And I was like, holy shit. And one of them is a werewolf book. And I know that I read that one, but again, it's been so long. I don't know what happened to those books because it was at my mom's house, not a part of my normal collection. And then seeing that Cameron, because me and Cam have never even talked about Fear Street, and he's apparently read all of them. So I want to go through and read all the Fear Street books. But it's not Goosebumps, it's not for kids. I think rated R. I think we talked about it in an earlier episode, and I was worried that they were just going to gear it towards a younger audience and make it PG. Yeah, which is, not to dismiss that audience, but like, let us have something. Let us have this. Make it R. And I'm excited to see a nostalgic thing that is going for that R rating. And the director, her name's Lee, or their name's Lee, I should say. They did 2 episodes of the Scream TV series, which if Gory Corey is your gauge for whether or not you should be excited for this based on the Scream series, yes, I would say yes. So super stoked on that. Comes out in July, which is dope.
we should definitely bring Corey back once it comes out.
Yeah.
And kind of get her opinions. Plus, she's just fun to have on the show.
Yeah, totally down. And also maybe we can see if we can swing some Fear Street people, see what we can do.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Soon. So dope. Well, like I said before, we have a great interview today after this with Allie Bishop. Again, go follow her on Instagram at Alexandria Bishop, and then Allie Bishop on Etsy. Obviously, you should go follow her on there, Allie Bishop Artwork. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the interview. We'll see you on the other side. Sean.
Yes, Steve.
You been bringing any groceries into your home recently?
I actually just went grocery shopping today.
When you brought in the groceries, did you also remember to bring horror into your home with you?
No, I forgot to put it on my list.
Dude, here's the thing. You always got to bring horror into your home. And the best way to bring horror into your home is with a handmade candle from the American Nightmare Candle Company.
Which, Mistress of the Night, you are a mind reader. Steve, are you a medium?
I think I'm an extra large.
That's so I call lies, because you clearly are a medium, because you just read my mind, Steve. If there's one way to bring horror into your home, it is exactly what you just said. It's the American Nightmare Candle Company. Each scent is inspired by locations iconic to the horror genre. I'm talking places like the Overlook Hotel.
Ooh.
I'm talking Sleepy Hollow.
Okay.
I'm talking Elm Street, Steve.
You're talking Elm Street, Steve?
Elm Street, the Elm Street, Steve. I'm talking Mr. Clawhands himself. If you want your bedroom to smell like burning flesh and dead teenagers, these are the fragrances for you.
Wow.
Not literally, but inspiredly.
Inspiredly. And that's what I'm saying. They have the best fragrances, and each fragrance combination that they make, it's carefully curated, and it transports you into the story. It doesn't transport you next to the story or above or below this. It transports you into the freaking story.
And that's exactly what I want, Steve. That's exactly what I need. I've been watching these movies as close to the screen as I can get, and I just need to be inside of the movie. You know what, Steve?
Yeah.
I need the American Nightmare Candle Company to take all of my money. I would pay full price for these, but what if I told you that we can get it for cheaper, Steve? What if I told you
get it for cheaper?
You can get it for cheaper. I'm talking 10% off when you use the promo code Mostly Horror at checkout.
You're telling me if I use the code Mostly Horror at checkout, I'll get 10% off of these candles?
Mostly Horror, Steve. That's exactly what I'm telling you.
That's amazing. Because see, I've been on the American Nightmare Candle Company Etsy, and I've been on their website, AmericanNightmareCandles.com, and I never knew that I could get a discount with 10% off with the promo code Mostly Horror. So that's
Mostly Horror.
That is amazing. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna stop recording. We're gonna go to AmericanNightmareCandles.com, and we're gonna bring horror into your home. All right, we are here with Allie Bishop. Allie is an internationally published and award-winning special effects and makeup artist. She's worked on several shorts and features, most notably the upcoming indie film An Intrusion. She's also a talented artist working on illustrations, sculpting work, painting, and more. Thanks for joining us, Allie. Stoked to have you here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So we obviously have been acquaintances for a while. We follow you and know all about your work and illustrations. And the main thing that you do is special effects makeup work. Curious to start off with this, like, where did that love for makeup and especially, horror SFX makeup come from?
Well, I started it when my sister and her husband asked me to make them into mummies for one Halloween. I think it was in like 2014-ish. And I had never done any sort of makeup before aside from like shitty beauty makeup on myself at that point. And so I went to a Halloween store and grabbed what I thought would maybe make a cool mummy. I did their makeup. It was horrible, but then I started just loving it, and I did it every day on myself, just practicing. And that's actually when I started getting into horror movies, because I wasn't really allowed to watch them as a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, that's surprising. Okay.
I would not have guessed that.
No, I wasn't allowed to. And then I got into a long-term relationship where he didn't like gory makeup or horror movies, so I didn't watch them. So I didn't start watching them until I was like 20.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. 20 or 21, something like that.
Okay.
And then I just fell in love. Then it's all downhill from there.
Whoa.
All uphill, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really curious then. Did you have, you said you weren't allowed to watch them. Is it like was it like a religious thing, or
No.
you just didn't think it was?
I just think my mom didn't like them. She did like movies like Anaconda or what's that alligator one? Lake Placid.
Lake Placid.
Yeah, she liked those. Or The Mummy. Those were, I was allowed to watch those, but like anything else, no.
Okay.
Yeah. More like action-y, monster-y horror stuff.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff. Okay.
Would you say that you had like a draw to spook? Like, did you want to watch them, or were you watching like kid horror stuff like Nightmare Before Christmas or anything like that? Or did you didn't even have you didn't know that you loved it yet?
Exactly. I had no idea that I loved it. I didn't even have any friends who liked it. I only just the last few years got friends who liked horror, which was pretty cool. After I started doing like horror conventions and meeting people outside of my little group. Yeah. So I just didn't know anyone who liked it.
That's what, from an outside perspective, looking at your page and like everything you do, you're just like so intertwined with the aesthetic of horror that I never, that both Sean and I, if you
blown away.
This, you can see our expressions when you just said that. That's insane. So, all right. So you just kind of started getting into horror at 20 or found the love for it. What would you say, within the past, however many years, what would you say are your favorite horror films in the genre? Like, what if we had to peg it down, what are you watching normally?
Or like what turned you? Like, I know that the makeup did, but like what were some of those early movies that really, the first ones that you watched that solidified it?
Nightmare on Elm Street 3 solidified it for me.
Dream Warriors? Okay.
Yeah, and that's always been my favorite. And I feel like it's been my favorite because it's what made me like really love horror, because mainly the makeup aspect, because the practical effects are so cheesy but great in those movies. Also Evil Dead, obviously, and the new one too. The new one's sick. I loved it.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
But yeah, those have been my like staple favorites since the very beginning. But like more recently would be like The Witch or Hereditary, because like I don't know, they're so different from normal horror movies. Like I don't know. I really like those two. Or Midsommar. That's great. Yeah,
we definitely we've talked a little bit about kind of like the art house horror aspect of it and how it's different, and it kind of gets like a bad rep for the way that it's presented, or the way that some people present it as being like elevated or better than horror sort of thing. When there's there are other good horror movies that aren't extremely dramatic or like slow burns that are still really good.
I don't think they're better than any other thing. Like, I know a lot of people who do, and it's very weird. Like, I just like them for different reasons. And I feel like I've seen so many horror movies now that I don't feel like the fear anymore, or like any kind of whatever, like I used to. I used to get caught up in jump scares and whatever. And so now the psychological thrillers are what works for me.
Got you. Yeah. I'm really
right there with
curious. I'm really curious about the fear aspect, coming into it later. Like, I know that you weren't allowed, and you said you didn't really have friends that did, but did you ever have any early accidental exposure to a horror movie? Like, or like, I don't know, I ran out while being babysat once just in time to catch Drew Barrymore hanging in a tree at the age of like 4. Did you have anything like that like really scarred you, or even like a haunted house or something,
I actually hadn't gone to a haunted house till I started working at Erebus in 2000. I don't even know, 16, 17.
Okay.
I don't know. But no, as a kid, I remember going to a friend's house and we watched, what is it called? Rose Red
sounds familiar.
It's like, I think it's a Stephen King book.
I was gonna say pause while we IMDb it. we always do this while it's like trying to look up a film.
Well, did they have an old one? Didn't they do one with Pierce Morgan or something?
I don't remember the actors. I just remember that movie freaking me out. And we weren't supposed to be watching it, but the parents weren't home.
It looks like they did. Looks like they did a TV miniseries in 2002.
Is that the one with Kimberly J. Brown? Because I see her name popping up when I'm looking at it, which I love her, by the way.
Let me look.
Maybe.
That's Marnie from Halloween Town.
She's on TikTok.
I know. I made a TikTok about her and she saw it. And it was one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me in my life. Also, humble brag.
Yeah, she is. She's in the miniseries, the 3-part miniseries.
It is that one, but we watched it together, so I thought it was a movie.
Gotcha.
Okay,
that's crazy.
That makes sense.
I want to watch this now. It looks interesting.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm very curious about it, especially since she's in it.
And you're a big Beetlejuice fan, right? I mean, as everyone should be, but okay.
Yeah.
So, well, when would you say you saw? I'm sorry, I'm just like at this point I need to understand the timeline. When did you see Beetlejuice then?
That movie has been like my family's. Well, my sister and I are favorites. Like she gave birth to both of my nieces while watching Beetlejuice. Like we love that movie.
Yeah, great. That's beautiful. Yeah,
I have them tattooed on my arm. That's why I love V. Neal. That was what got me into her makeup. And I don't know. I feel like I watched that well before I started. I don't consider that a horror movie. So, and my mom was fine with us watching that. So years before that, probably. That's always been a favorite.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm pretty sure, not to whatever, but I just read like a whole. I'm realizing how little I know about the makeup world. Like I appreciate the effects so much, but I'm really realizing that I only know a handful of makeup artist names. And I just read a great article about V. Neal it was in Fangoria, and it's just so good. It was fascinating to see all the stuff she worked on.
She actually with Beetlejuice, it wasn't even supposed to be anything big. It was just like a bunch of friends collaborating type of thing. I mean, people got paid obviously because there's some big name actors, but and to the point where they like threw away the props. After they threw away everything because it was just for fun. They just did it for fun. And V. Neal, I saw her at I think it was Monster Palooza. She was doing an interview and she was talking about how she stole them out of the dumpster, all the props, and she had a Halloween party like every year with the Beetlejuice props in her house.
Oh, that is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where are they now?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm sure she kept some of them. I don't know if she kept all of them though.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But she's incredible. The highlight of my whole life was her getting to judge me for the Face Awards because the minute she started talking, instantly waterfall of tears.
Yeah.
That's right. So that actually leads into the next question that we wanted to talk about kind of the different, accolades or like different things that you've done with makeup. So you've obviously done some shorts. I saw that you recently just did a feature and you've been, you did the Face Awards and that sort of stuff. Can you kind of talk about the places that special effects makeup has taken you so far since you've been doing it?
Well, as of right now, I feel like the coolest thing is definitely the Face Awards. And being able to do that feature recently was cool because it was my first feature. All I've been doing for the past few years is mainly music videos and shorts. But yeah, I think the feature and then the Face Awards are the two coolest things that I've gotten to do. And the feature was cool, getting to work with Pippin.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
cool. I remember seeing your post during that time.
Oh, yeah. It was
you could tell you were stoked.
Yeah. It was hard to keep it together. I had just had to powder his forehead, and the whole time he was like smiling and so nice. And I'm like, oh my God.
That's so sick.
What exactly, like, can you kind of talk about the Face Awards? Like, I know it's a very large event. And I really don't know that much about it. So I guess, can you explain a little bit about it? Like what goes into that?
And how you got into that sort of situation?
Well, basically I had seen makeup artists that I follow post about the awards almost like for years. I think I saw it for like 4 years and I never thought I was like good enough to do it. So I just didn't try. I didn't submit anything. But basically you submit, I think, any makeup look, if I remember correctly. just showing what you got. And then I don't know if it's like Nick's owners or who in the Nick's company, they pick like a top 20 or top 30, something like that. And then your followers vote to keep you on, and it like gets weaned down. Like it goes to top 30, top 20, top, I think it was like 13 or some random number. And then the top 6 got flown to LA for 2 weeks to like film a video with professional film people there. And basically each level, they give you a, like what makeup to do, like a prompt. There we go.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
They give you a prompt, like the first one was power of makeup. And it's the same. They give you a prompt when you're actually in LA, and the winner wins a big sum of money, and you're all judged by, it was V. Neil, Kate Johnson. I only cared about V. Neil.
It was V. Neil and other people. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know the other people because they're more like just beauty community people. Right. Which they're super influential. Like Candy Johnson basically started makeup YouTube, beauty makeup. And then Patrick Starr was the host. It was fun. It was a good time, but I also realized that I'm not built for LA people, especially not the makeup community. It was all very weird and like, I don't know how to explain it. It was very fake feeling, and just we had multiple events with a bunch of makeup artists from all over the world. They brought like the top 50 from each, or the number one person from like each country to LA too. So we all had parties and stuff. And it was just weird. Like no one was having fun at any of the events. They were kind of just selfieing, and then they would stop and move on to the next person and take a selfie. And no one was like, I don't know. It was weird.
Oh.
It was just kind of fun. And then multiple influencers, I would watch them take a selfie at the event and then literally just go home. Like they didn't stay at the event, but then they would post about how fun the event was later. And I'm like, ew.
Weird.
Yeah, really wild.
I hate that.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts.
Yeah.
That must have been, not to like whatever how much that probably sucked, but that probably sucked a ton to, to be so stoked about this industry and then to sort of have this like illusion broken for you, or to find out that there's, that it is an illusion in the first place. Yeah. Would you say that like affected your, obviously you still love makeup and you want to like, I guess I don't 100% know. Like, what would you say is your goal? Like, what do you want to do with your art? Like, where do you want to take it?
It made me realize that I don't want to be a social media makeup artist. I want to do movies. I don't want the influencer type of crap. I don't want to go to parties and events. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to work on movies, and that's it.
Got you. Yeah.
And make creatures and stuff. I'm fine with doing beauty makeup because it's obviously a part of the job, even on movies. But it's definitely not my favorite kind of community.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that those two communities would be so drastically different, special effects makeup and doing the horror community, or not horror, but the makeup aspect, the beauty aspect.
Yeah.
I can't help but think of Shook with the thing that you were just describing.
That we saw.
Yeah. They have, I don't know if you've seen that, Allie, but it's at the beginning of the movie, they have this whole press.
It's a Shudder,
sort of thing.
Shudder feature that's on.
Yeah. But at the beginning, it's all about like social media influencers, and there's this red carpet, and then it pans out and it shows that the red carpet is literally just like a square. There's a fake whatever. It's just up against a brick wall. No one's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just so fake. And that's just crazy to me. But yeah. Oh man.
It's all so fake. And like the amount of influencers, including Patrick Starr, they would like walk up to the top 6 and say like, your life's about to change. This is so life-changing. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, literally no aspect of my life has changed at all. Like at all.
Really? So, like you didn't find yourself like no opportunities presented or anything like it specifically from that. Obviously you have stuff going on, but specifically from this, you don't think that it helped really? It was just a cool.
I honestly, I think the only cool thing was, before this event, I had paid to meet V. Neil at like, Motor City, or not, the Comic-Con. And I also met her, I don't remember, there was one other time, but getting her to judge my makeup and actually see it. I'm sure she doesn't remember it now, but like that was like, no, like it was incredible.
Yeah.
Right.
And
absolutely.
Another aspect that I didn't like was I couldn't relate. I mean, the girls, the top 6, I got along with them. We all had a lot of fun, but I didn't relate to a lot of the people that I met because they were only in it for the social media, for like being an influencer type of thing. I would talk about movies and whatever, and it just felt, I don't know, it was awkward.
Weird.
Yeah.
It was weird.
That makes sense. I've been watching with my girlfriend, I think it's called Glow Up. It's like a makeup competition show or whatever, and I'm watching it like could never even talk to these people in this industry.
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking as you're describing this right now. That definitely makes sense.
Yeah, that's like a lot of people go into the industry and then they just collaborate on YouTube and stuff, like the beauty side, and like with James Charles and all those. That's a bad reference. He's canceled.
He's not great.
Well, whatever. You know what I mean? With those, for sure. That just sounds awful. I don't think I could sit and do makeup with a lot of them.
That's fair.
Nor would you want to. I mean, you got your own avenue. So
you're actually in it for a love of the art, you know? So it's
And I want to make characters. I want to make iconic characters. Like, I know there hasn't been many iconic ones since, like, you know, Freddy, Jason, those kinds. But I think like Trick or Treat, Sam is an iconic, and that's a fairly new movie.
Yes.
I feel like it's really hard to make an iconic horror character.
Yeah,
it is. And even that one's like culty, like it's not as big. You know? Like Sam is great 100%, but that movie's from like 2007. I want to say it's 14 years old, and it's not. I mean, you know, only really horror fans know Sam.
A big part of the reason that, you know, Sam and Trick or Treat are blowing up in general, I think, is the contract that they have with Spirit Halloween. Yeah, because they're really trying to make Sam like a Halloween icon, like a mascot.
As he should be.
Yeah, I agree.
So before we move on with some other questions, we do want to ask. So talking about, you know, shitty people in certain industries, you had, I don't remember how long it was ago, and you can clarify that, but you had a meme of you and your sister go mega viral. For anyone that hasn't seen it, I mean, essentially it's a picture of both of you. She's all, you know, colorful hair and rainbows and sunshines, and you're, you know, in your black on black attire. In the meme formats, you know, kind of used to compare two things that are very, you know, dissimilar. Can you kind of talk about the experience of being a part of something that's that viral, and also the reactions to it, or kind of the downfall over the years?
Yeah. I don't remember what year I posted it. I think it was taken in like 2016 or something. Originally posted on my Instagram in 2017, and I think I reposted it to Twitter in 2019, something like that. Yeah, I think it was 2019. And it quickly blew up. It was because there's a couple larger Twitter accounts that follow me. We're like mutuals, where they're creatives too and whatever. And they retweeted it like immediately, so automatically got like all their, you know, followers viewing it.
Yeah.
And then the beginning was overwhelming and exciting because a bunch of like news people were reaching out to me, a bunch of different social media, like Bored Panda, those kinds of accounts were reaching out to me, Daily Mail. And then like overnight, it was fucking everywhere. People were sending me screenshots of it on like their Snapchats, on everything. And it was exciting. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be famous. And I honestly, it was like, I was thinking of that kombucha girl, Brittany Broski, something like that, where, you know, her she tries kombucha and her face is like, or whatever. I mean, she went so viral, and like, she's gotten so many opportunities from it, from what social media, what it looks like. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But so that's what I kind of thought was going to happen. I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to be working with V Neil soon. Like, that's my makeup. But no, it didn't happen that way. It just won't die now. And I would say from the female population, it's been nothing but positivity, and like them tagging their sisters and saying, I love you, we're this, we look like this, blah, blah, blah. But for men, it's been pretty awful because the photo's super old. I'm obviously way younger than that. I think I was like 20 or 20, I don't know, 21. They just keep commenting on how fat I've gotten. constantly. Like just this morning, I woke up to a Instagram DM because I turned off my mentions and comments from everyone. And the DM was like, "Why you so fat?" I'm like, "You woke up at 9 a.m. and messaged me why you so fat?"
Jesus. It's just...
It doesn't make any sense. And it sucks because you post like you frequently post these like comments to kind of not like out these people, but basically just post it because I mean I think it's healthy to do that regardless, but you know you're basically just showing the scum of the earth on your Instagram so other people can see it. But it sucks because I feel like in turn, like, are they looking for that sort of thing? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I tried for like a while, for I would say a few months or more. I stopped posting about it entirely, and then only those close to me would see, like, because in the beginning it really affected me because, you know, especially, I mean, I guess anybody has body issues, but like just growing up in this society we do, a lot of women have body issues, a lot of people have body issues, so having it pointed out every day was really affecting me. But then I was like, okay, maybe if I stop talking about it, they won't keep coming. Because I did notice on Twitter specifically, every time I would post about it, someone would make an account that day, so it had to be someone who follows me, and then comment some bullshit under the post I made about that. And I'm like,
Jesus.
Okay, so I stopped for a few months and it didn't stop. So it's literally just because on all these meme Instagram accounts, the guys find my and then put it in the comments, and so then a flood of new men come to my account, and yeah. It's so stupid.
That's the dumbest shit in the world. And it sucks because it's such a great photo, and I still see it like to this day. I've saw it a couple of weeks ago on like on a horror Reddit, I think, about something, and I'm just like, it's wild that it has that longevity, but it also is kind of a bummer that, I mean, it's 100% a bummer that you're continuously getting shit from just the worst of the internet. Like, that is
years for no reason. Like, it was an innocent thing. Like, I just posted about it because my family has made fun of my sister, well, in a nice way, joke about my sister and I since we were kids, because we have always been complete opposites when it comes to our style. So I just posted it because I'm like, well, maybe people think this is interesting, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Right. And it should have just been a fun thing, you know, like there's no it's just crazy how people have this, especially, I mean, you're absolutely right. Like a lot of them are just terrible dudes online that just feel this, I don't know if it makes them feel powerful or whatever, to just shit, like just to try to shit all over people's lives and just say these terrible things to them. And it's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like the amount of hate that you see people get online is just nuts to me. And I don't know. But at least, you know, the positive aspects of it were there. So I don't know. I
don't think I've ever looked at something and thought, I want to bully that person.
Right.
Yeah.
Never.
Like, what the fuck?
Never.
Yeah. That's like when we talked to the director and lead actress of Bloodthirsty, which is a lesbian werewolf movie essentially. And like they put out their trailer and it's like a flood of people like, you know, why are there lesbian vampires? Like blah, 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 blah. Like Jesus Christ. Like, why do you have to wake up and choose to be an idiot?
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
It's such a waste of time. And like all that hate is like literally rotting you from the inside.
Yep. No,
nothing good will come from that.
It's awful. Well, so you've obviously been doing this for a while now. You're, as someone who's followed you for quite some time, I've seen your work grow tremendously in terms of the things that you've been able to do, especially with special effects makeup. Like it's honestly like some of the shit that you post, I'm like, the fact that you take just like, I mean, not that I know how to do it, but like you take, you know, a group of materials and you're able to make someone look like, you know, whatever you make them look like is just absolutely insane. Yeah, of course. I definitely want to, I'm sure when we share this, I want to post some of your like work that you've done or like the looks that you've done, but I'll probably throw some on this video too, just for the YouTube watchers. But so my question that I want to get to, you've been doing this for a little while now after I rambled for a bit. What have you learned, like with, I'm sure you've learned different things in terms of application and stuff, but is there anything that you would tell yourself, you know, some years back when you first started doing special effects makeup that you think would help with like the knowledge and the growth that you have now?
Yeah, don't get cocky. I look back on my work from even just 2 years ago, even a year ago, and I'm like, wow, I really thought I was the shit. Because I would look at, beauty makeup artists on Instagram, and it's not cool to be like, I shouldn't have been judgmental, but it happens, whatever. But it'd be on Instagram and I'd see someone who doesn't specialize in special effects, because those are mainly who I either follow like industry professionals who are like older and they've been in this for like years, or I follow beauty makeup artists because we're mutuals and stuff. But I just wasn't coming across many, I don't know, great small special effects artists, so I thought I was great. No, I wasn't. It was horrible. When I look back at my makeup, I'm like, why did I think that was so good? So now I am humbled, and yeah. Like, I don't know how to explain it, because I also at the same time was too nervous to do the face awards because I didn't think mine was good enough, but I still had like a cockiness, like, no, this is good. I don't need to get better. I don't need to like, look into, I don't know how to explain it.
I know what you mean. It is the curse of the artist to both like beat and kiss your own ass. Like you hate your work, but you also love your work at the same time. And you'll go 1 minute, you'll be like, this is amazing, everyone needs to see this. And then you'll look at it the next day and you're like, holy shit, I suck. Everything sucks. Why do I suck so bad? Exactly. Yeah, it seriously is the worst thing in the world. Like that's a lot of the TikToks I make are me just complaining about that. But speaking of, you kick out so much work. Like you kick out a ton of work. It seems you at least create the illusion that you're always making something, and you do a million different things. Like you draw, you paint, you're sculpting, right? Is that technically what you're? Yeah. Like, can you talk about just like all the different stuff that you do? It's not just makeup.
Yeah, so I think you covered most of the things I do. I paint, I sculpt, I like illustration with like ink mainly. I also dabble. I have ADHD, so I can't stick with one art form like for a long time. I get really bored, and so I just start a lot of new things. So like I've done wood burning, crochet, what's that, like needlepoint crap, embroidery.
Yeah, I was gonna say you did like a Baby Yoda not too long ago that was like super cool.
Embroidery is my least favorite form. I like it when other people do it. I hate doing it.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've tried like resin art. I've tried a lot of different things because I just get real bored. And I think that's why I push out so much stuff, is because like otherwise my brain goes crazy.
Yeah. I wish I was like that. I just draw,
cool.
I mean, really cool.
Thank you. I appreciate you. But I just want to do like crafty stuff, and I just never do.
Yeah, like the sculpt, the pots that you've been doing with the crazy eyes. So I'm just pulling them up because I was looking at them recently. Like they're just wild. Like how long does it take, since that's one of the more, some of the more recent stuff you've done, how long does it take to make those like creepy pots that you're doing?
From start to finish, I would probably say like 3 or 4 hours, not counting like dry times and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the clay I used, it dries, it's like 24 to 48 hours. Yeah, about 3 to 4 hours probably each pot, depending on the size. Like if it's the smaller pots, less.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
1 to 2 hours. It's pretty routine now, like, because I've been pushing them out, because now I do art full time, so I like need to sell.
Yeah.
And those sell pretty quickly, so now it's just routine. Like it's almost like I'm not thinking while doing it anymore, which
makes sense.
It's fine, but I definitely am ready to probably move on to something new.
Yeah. Is that kind of how are you almost like impulsive with trying new stuff? Like do you just kind of get an idea and you just go to the store and buy all the materials? Because I'm sure you must have a crazy craft room. Like you must have tubs filled with shit. Like
Yeah. Well, when I had my group home job, I had the money to like just go out and buy like not super expensive stuff, but art supplies and stuff. And because I was doing makeup and selling art even when I had that job. So, but now I don't really have the funds to be able to start a bunch of new hobbies. So I've just been sticking with the plant pots.
Got you.
That makes sense. Are you at least like kind of change? I mean, I know that the one that you recently posted was like blue and purple-y. Are you kind of like changing the feel of them so that way they're not all like the same looking? Are you like experimenting at all?
I'll show. Well, hang on. I have one drying. Yeah. I'll grab it. Hang on.
Yes. Perfect.
Oh, jeez.
Oh. I love hearing things fall when I can't see
in
them.
The background.
Or like hearing someone just like trip. It's almost funnier than seeing them trip a little bit.
Okay. This one's still drying, but he's gonna be like a little goblin.
Oh, that is so cool.
And he's gonna have like big hoop earrings once it is pretty dry. But yeah, so I'm trying to do colors too. So I did a green baby.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm not big on working with colors, like even with pretty much all of my art I stick with pretty muted tones or a lot of reds and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to go out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
You're speaking to Sean's soul right now. 100%.
Mr. Black 100%. And
White.
I love black and white, and I love like pastel, like muted, muddy looking colors. Yeah. And yeah, I just want it to look like an old cartoon half the time. I never get that. I end up with something else, but I'm always pulling either that or like vibrant. Like I will literally take a Goosebumps cover and just steal Tim's color palette. Mm-hmm. Just like completely just like, I'm just like, I'll take that and that.
Yeah.
With those pots, are you kind of sorry, I kind of want to try sculpting now, but are you making up the face while you're doing it, or do you draw them out usually, or like
that's a good
what's your approach?
I never sketch out anything I do, not makeup or anything. I just do it.
Wow.
You're a crazy person.
If I think too much, it's not going to be good. Like if I overthink it, it's going to be horrible.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's crazy.
I'm a big I'll sketch something out and then I'll try to make it bigger. Like I'll try to do a bigger piece, and I end up like I can never get the same energy that I had on the sketch, and I often just won't do it anymore. So a lot of my stuff stays as these sketches. Whenever I do it, I have to project it because I need to absolutely trace that sketch because I just can't find it. So I feel you. Like if you overthink, you'll just ruin it. You know, you have to like. But that's impressive, especially for the sculpting aspect, the fact that you just kind of go for it. That's just crazy to me.
I feel like with sculpting, it's even more natural to just go with it than, for me, than like illustration or something, because I just let the clay kind of go where it wants to go. Like I'll mush it down, and then if there's like a bump over here, I'm like, oh, I'll make that into a mole. Or if there's like, you know what I mean? So I just kind of like do it that way.
That's cool. That's super cool. Just for my own curiosity, would you ever do like a commission sculpt, like a commission pot, like where the face looks a certain way?
Yeah, I'm working on one right now, and then somebody messaged me this morning about another one. I'm willing to do those. People just usually buy the ones I already make.
Yeah, that makes sense. You might be getting another message from me, because that's very those things are so cool, and you post them and they fly off the shelf. So I might have to inquire before one's gone. That's super cool. Well, we've chatted for a bit. We've gotten some great insight. I know Sean loves it as well as an artist. Love to kind of get background and know the starts in horror and especially the work that you do. The last thing that we want to ask before we get into our game segment. So let's get a mostly horror recommendation. So we want a recommendation that's mostly, so not horror, and then a recommendation that's horror. Just 2 movies that you think whoever's listening should go out and watch as soon as they can.
That we haven't touched yet.
Yeah. If you can do that. I'm sure you have a lot.
For horror, I would probably say, I feel like a lot of people have already seen this movie, but The Ritual, and then also The Platform, for sure.
Okay. Platform?
I haven't seen The Platform yet.
Is that the Spanish film or the Mexican film?
I don't remember.
I think it is
an international film.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure. I think someone,
Sarah,
as you said it,
our former coworker Sarah told us about it. I think
was it her? Okay, so I was going to say someone recommended it. I think, and it's like, is it about like a jail almost?
Yeah, it's kind of like a jail where there's like 100 like stories or something, and they have. Like, this isn't giving anything away. It's just what the movie's about. They have food in the middle on a platform, and the top get the food first, and it's one platform. They don't refill it for people. So those at the bottom, you know, it's a piece about the rich sucking. Basically.
Yeah. Interesting.
So it's Snowpiercer, but it's vertical instead of horizontal.
Yeah. Cool. And then of course the ritual. The ritual is amazing.
Yeah.
It sucks because I want to like say things and ask you questions about it, but I don't want to give anything away to anyone listening. So we'll just leave that. But
leave it where it is.
I'll shoot you a message.
His new film, The Night House, comes out in a couple of months here during the summer. The guy that did The Ritual is doing The Night House. Yeah. And then what about a mostly movie? What about a non-horror movie recommendation?
That's so hard because I feel like I only watch horror.
It can be spooky adjacent.
Yeah. Because see, we call a lot of things horror, like Beetlejuice, we would say is horror, like that sort of stuff. Yeah. But if you don't think it is, if you wouldn't call it horror, then we'll call it mostly, and that works.
Yeah.
I did just watch. Oh, what's it called? It was a movie. I guess that is kind of real horror. It's about trafficking, but it's a newer one. Called something All Girls. I Am All Girls.
I Am All Girls.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's based on a true story, so it's like extra sad, but it was a really good movie. It was well done, I thought.
Damn.
Netflix original?
I think it is
Netflix. Okay. Yeah.
We can expect to be taken on an emotional journey.
Yeah. And it's not super graphic with what you'd think it would be.
Yeah.
It's not like
yeah. But it's sad. I cry easy, so that's my thing.
Yeah, I definitely cried.
Sick. I'm really excited for that one, Allie.
Those are good. I want to watch The Platform because I've wanted to watch that for such a long time, and you bringing that up definitely makes me want to check it out. Sweet. Well, those are great recommendations, and I think it's a good enough time to start our game. For today, we should probably mention you have, I think, 3, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have 3 lovely reptile pets.
I have 7.
You have 7 lovely reptile pets. So the ones that I've seen, and I'm sure you have probably multiple, but I've seen a snake, a gecko, and a bearded dragon. Mm-hmm. What else do you have on top of that? You've got your twitchy dog in the back too, which is the best.
Yeah. I have 2 bearded dragons, a ball python, a Pac-Man frog, a gargoyle gecko, and a crested gecko, and 2 mice that are pets, not food.
Gotcha. I was gonna say, are they in the same tank?
And then I have a few like fish and a bunch of shrimp, an army of shrimp.
Gotcha.
Oh man, how is that like? We have 2 friends that their house is basically a zoo, as well. Is that like a lot of upkeep especially with them all being reptiles? Like, I guess I don't know what all goes into it. Cameron has a snake, but that's about all I know. I would love a snake, but
I would get another ball python. My snake is my favorite. He's currently on antibiotics because he's sick, but the upkeep isn't really hard. I would say the bearded dragons, I know they're seen as like beginner pets, but they should not be, because you every single day you need fresh vegetables. You're supposed to rotate different vegetables and fruits for them. They need crickets, which it's a lot. They need a lot of crickets, like 2 to 3 times a week, even more when they're little. I would say they're the most upkeep. The rest are in bioactive tanks, so it kind of just takes care of itself. Like there's little bugs like isopods and springtails that like eat the animal's poop and stuff, so you don't have to clean it as much. They just do their own thing. I basically mist it in the morning and at night, and that's it.
Got you. So it's kind of just like an initial investment, and then it's a lot easier. Okay.
Interesting.
I want a snake, dude. If Bruce lets me get a snake, it's over.
You should get one. And I know a few really reputable local snake breeders too that are great.
I'll end up hitting you
go,
up.
Sean.
No joke. Yeah. I will end up hitting you up. Kara's gonna be pissed. That's my cat.
She'll be
but
fine.
Either way.
She'll be fine. All right,
okay,
cool. Well, so the reason that we brought that up, right? The reason we brought that up is we want to choose. We're trying to figure out what game to do for today, and so we think we should do the top 5 creatures from a movie that you would want as a pet. So creature can really apply to a wide variety of things. If you want to be, if you want to be loose with it, that's totally fine.
Get creative.
As always, we'll pick our top 5. We'll explain why we're choosing what we're choosing. If someone, chooses a creature that you were going to choose, they're off the list. You can't pick them anymore. And I'm sure we'll have great teams. I only have 5 written down, so I really hope no one chooses any of mine because I love my top 5. So, but Allie, if you want to go first, choose your number 1 creature, and then we'll go from there.
The vulture creatures from Dark Crystal. The
Skeksis.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Those are good.
As pets, so that's an interesting choice for pets because they are kind of dicks.
I would love though. I would give them food and stuff.
That's okay. Yeah, they're very messy eaters.
You would turn them. That's funny. Yeah. I would have never thought of the Skeksis. That's so good.
They're so cool. I considered it, but I was like, in my head, I was like, no, because they'll probably just yell and have a lot of demands. And yeah. Did you watch the new show? Did you watch Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance?
Oh yeah.
It's so good, and I'm pissed that the second season, got canceled. Like, it's devastating.
It always does with the best shows.
Yeah, because people can't appreciate.
The
general populace can't appreciate it.
Yeah, Dark Crystal show right now, unfortunately,
which is just devastating.
Yeah,
but okay, solid pick.
Sean, what do you think for your first one?
All right, I chose. I think I'm going to say it right. I had to look up the name of it, but I chose the Shoggoth from Lovecraft Country. Those are those like hellhound dog, those big guys, isn't it, dude? I want to ride one of them into battle. I'm pretty sure Atticus, plus they just pop out of the ground and there's like a whole cool part where I don't want to ruin that show at all for anybody, but there's just cool parts where, if they're on your side, you're pretty golden. Like, no one's going to fuck with me, and they're scary boys. So yeah, that's the cool. Shoggoth.
I gotta look up how to spell them once we're done, because I don't know.
SHOGGOTH.
Fuck yeah, Shoggoth. Nailed it. Sure. Yeah. Sounds good to me. All right, mine are not spooky at all. So I'm gonna go. I got 9 non-spooky creatures. Okay. My number 1, because I feel like I'm perpetually poor. I'm gonna choose Niffler from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Nice.
Because the dude just sniffs out gold and like jewels and all that stuff.
That's smart.
So I feel like that's the number 1. Like, also,
that's an investment.
It's an investment for the other 5 pets I'm gonna have, or the other 4 pets. Like, they're gonna have upkeep. So Niffler will bring in the income. I can relax and take care of the other 4.
Andy's cute.
Andy's cute. He's a cute pet.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know. We don't need to talk about this. I don't know if you guys have seen them. I feel like those movies get a bad rep. I feel like because they're after Harry Potter, like no one really likes them as much. But I have seen both of them, and I watched them both on planes. And normally plane movies suck, but I enjoyed both of those films a lot. So I don't know.
I like the characters a lot, the little creatures.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're so full of creatures, and that's like some of the best parts of Potter films. So
my main thing with them, I like them. Well, actually, I haven't seen the second one, but I really like the first one. But I think one of my things is it seems like they relied really heavily on pretty much entirely on digital for their creatures. And obviously, I know we're not going to get like full on puppets with them, but the Harry Potter series itself seems to incorporate a bit more practical effects and texture than I think the Fantastic Beasts. Yeah. So that's my only thing is it's one of those movies where I'm like, oh, like you guys really focused a lot on digital.
They got that Harry Potter money.
But like
shove it into digital CGI.
But you could shove it into some really nice effects, like practical effects.
You could
get Allie on the next one.
You could mix practical and digital, and I feel like it wouldn't be that much more money, and it would make it great. Because most movies that are great have a mix of both. Like when the effects are really, really great, it's usually that's my thing. Is when like use practical effects as much as possible to create a sense of realism. But like use CGI to boost it. But I never really love full CGI characters. You have to nail it, Like Davy Jones' face is great. Yeah. But even then,
it's, you know, the rest of him is very real, and there's some, you know, I don't know.
Venial worked on those movies.
Yeah. Yes.
Like in Crimson Peak, where Doug Jones, the actor's in that red, like,
the ghosty outfit,
costume. And then here is green screen, because obviously they can't take away the actor's head, and it's perfect. It looks great. Yeah, I love characters.
Doug Jones can do no wrong. Anything Doug Jones has ever done is perfect. Yeah, we're hoping really bad to eventually get him on this show.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
He is I met him at Comic-Con back before COVID.
Of course you did.
He was the sweetest. He kissed my cheek and he was talking to me, and I started tearing up because I was like, dude, your characters made me love movies. Like I was just gushing, and he's like, well, I hope we get to work together one day. And I'm like,
I would have,
man. You did it,
yeah. I would have, I don't know what I would have done. I would have had a heart attack. I would have panicked. That's so cool.
Nice. He is the nicest human being I've ever met at like cons.
That's
anywhere.
Definitely. So jealous.
Definitely seems like it. All right. So Allie, it's your turn for your second pick. Who are you picking as a pet?
With these pets, will they not hurt me? Are they safe with me? Or are they still in movies?
I would say you're probably domesticating them in some sense, to where they would respond to you.
Yeah, okay. They respect you. You guys are friends.
Yeah.
Well, the popcorn clown guys from Killer Clowns from Outer Space, or Shorty himself.
Okay.
Because they're cute in their own little way.
Interesting. You're picking such like obscure people that I'm like, well, no, it's I'm just like, that just sounds like a chaotic household. I mean, granted, a Shoggoth is gonna like really break stuff, but I'm like, a clown, like, they're gonna get into all sorts of shenanigans, man.
Well, if we would just chill and watch movies and eat popcorn or something. No?
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
People out that I don't like. Someone looks at me wrong, he uses his little punchers to.
Yeah. God, I need to re-up on that movie. I haven't seen that movie in like 4 years.
I love that movie.
It's
nuts.
They did, I don't know. I know that they were talking about a possible sequel. I don't think it got greenlit, but then there was supposed to be a short, either animated or short, like feature 20-minute thing that the creator was going to be doing.
Animated would be interesting to see.
Steven Chiodo.
I would honestly love to see what they could do with the movie. I know people shit on remakes, but like if they could do the mix of practical and like, you know, CGI and shit, it could honestly be really cool.
Yeah. I love remakes. Like I even if I love remakes as a concept. I'm a big fan of seeing things in different perspectives. Like I want Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends to be completely reimagined. Let me design that show. Like I want like a dark spin on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like remakes are always fun, and even if they're bad, you still have the original thing. So I don't understand why people get as upset as they do. I guess I wasn't happy about the new Jumanji movie, so I get it. But
I didn't even watch the new Jumanji.
I know, because I wasn't happy about it.
They're good movies. All right, Sean, it's your turn. Do your second choice.
Okay. I would like to pick. I'm gonna pick the fairies, specifically from Pan's Labyrinth, that he keeps in his little. Yeah. I want them to turn. Is it? Sorry, dude. You can pick other things from that movie if you want. Yeah. You just can't pick those fairies.
I have a couple.
Okay. But yeah, I want those fairies. I want them specifically to turn into like the giant praying mantis type bug thing. I want the carrier. And I'll just send them off to do shit, collect grapes for me, not get eaten by pale men, you know, everything's
for me.
Yeah. I just feel like they'd be a lot of fun. Plus their design is beautiful.
Yeah.
Another person that can do no wrong is obviously Del Toro.
Yep.
Actually, he breaks my heart consistently, but I still love him regardless of the wrong that he does, if we're being real. But yeah, so that's my pick.
That's good. You guys have like darker horror characters, and mine are all just fluffy.
It's okay.
So going into it, I have my money getter. So my next one is going to be a means of transportation. I'm choosing Appa from Avatar.
Nice.
Because
yip, dude.
Why wouldn't you want to yip everywhere? Like that's like the best possible outcome. The only thing is we said that this is movie characters, so unfortunately it's from the very shitty Airbender movie that came out.
He still looked cool.
He still looks cool. So I feel like I'm not taking anything else from that film. I'm just taking Appa. And maybe when they do the live action for Netflix, he'll be cool as well. So
I need that to be very good. I need it to be good.
We will see what happens. But yeah, Appa's my choice. So third round, Allie, who are you choosing?
The critters from Critters.
From Critters? Nice.
All of them? Just like a big. Do you want a rolling ball of critters? Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
They would stay in a pen in my backyard.
Love it.
That's good. Are there multiple Critters films? Have they made like sequels and stuff? Okay. I thought that they had, but I didn't know.
I think there's at least 4. I could be wrong, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I just know of 3.
3. Yeah.
Okay. Then there's
4 though. I haven't seen the third or anything after 2.
Okay. Did 3, because I know one of like another one came out within the past 5 years, right? Was that 3?
Let's see.
They're definitely
do the recon.
There are holy shit. There's 5. There's Critters 2, Critters 3, Critters 4, and then Critters Attack, which came out 2 years ago.
There you go.
In 2019.
Wow. Yeah. So we gotta re-up. We gotta just kill through the. Honestly, I don't even know if I've seen, I definitely haven't seen 2. I've only seen like the first one, and I don't know if I've seen it all the way through. And it's been so long. I see clips of it.
Yeah.
Because it's talked about. But I need to just go like have a Critters Day or something.
I've only seen Gremlins.
So cute and underrated. I feel like a lot of people pick I mean, Gremlins are adorable, but a lot of people go to them, but like the critters are so cute. I know they look so evil, but they're adorable.
Yeah, of course.
No, that's fair. Definitely. Everybody should look up, just while I'm thinking about it, because I actually watched this recently, the rolling ball scene that I think is in number 2 or 3 or something. Do you know what I'm talking about? They had to make like 4 different versions of that ball to do like, because it would work from one angle for one shot, but then they had to, you know what I mean? The way that they made it work. So there's like 4 of them. And I just thought that was crazy.
I want one.
Yeah.
Again,
there you go.
practical effects. It makes it. Definitely makes it.
Okay.
All right, Sean, what's your third choice?
Oh, fuck. It's me. Let's do. I want to do. I think they're called Thestrals from Harry Potter. Did I steal one of yours?
Oh.
No, the Thestrals. So those, I don't think it sucks because I don't think they look as cool as like the books describe them.
Yeah,
because they're like kind of like death. They look like kind of like death horses, but in the books they're supposed to be like dog type creatures, sort of.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are cool, and they are like headed horses.
Right. And plus the idea of me just riding on some invisible flying horse thing that nobody else sees. And I guess I have to, I guess I wouldn't even really be able to see him.
Yeah. I was just about to ask that, so you would just be like floating.
Yeah. But I don't know. It'd be cool.
You don't turn invisible, so you're just chilling in the sky like you're like you're driving a car.
I'm down. Let's do it.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
All right. So my next one's gonna be Harry Potter 2. And everyone needs protection, as did Hagrid. So I'm gonna go with Fluffy, the 3-headed dog, Cerberus. So he'll guard all my valuables that Niffler has stolen. He's the only intimidating presence that I have on my whole squad. And I mean, he's a nice pup. He goes to sleep if you just play music, right? That's all you do, and play music. So play music. He goes to sleep, and he's not a big deal. So Fluffy's definitely my choice.
It.
Can you imagine the cuddles with the dog that big?
I'm saying you don't even need a bed.
Yeah,
you don't need a bed. You're just
comfy, cozy.
Big comfy couch, but it's fluffy.
Absolutely.
All right, so number 4, Allie.
Falcor.
Yeah, oh, damn it. I didn't even think about it. Oh, I'm pissed. I'm so bad.
I'm surprised you didn't think of that one, Sean.
I know. I literally have a video. Another video where I talk about picking Falcor. It was like a meme that was like, which 80s side character would you want as your best friend? And I was like, why is anyone even considering any of the other options? A flying luck dragon? Like, come on.
And he's the cutest character. He's one of the cutest characters ever designed.
Yes. It's when I was a child, it scared the hell out of me because animatronics and puppets scare the hell out of me. But yeah, no, you might have just won, and I'm furious.
Yeah, Falcor's a great choice.
Great
choice.
Damn.
Now
he would look like Falcor if he was pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
That's so good.
Oh man. Okay.
All right, Sean. All right. What do you think?
Is it me?
Yep.
I already have my travel buddy, my flying buddy. I'm gonna pick.
I
want Ludo.
Damn it!
Yeah, did I beat you?
That was my next one.
Yeah, give me Ludo. All right, because then I'm not just friends with Ludo. I'm friends with the rocks, and if I'm friends with the rocks, I'm unstoppable.
That's true.
Yeah, that's just the reality. Plus, again, adorable, just nice guy. I feel like he'd let me ride up on his shoulders. I'm a very short person, so we'd be fine.
Yeah, you'd get that extra height. It's so funny because I feel like at least my last two picks have been like similar to yours. Because I feel like if you took Ludo and you put him in a Ghibli movie, he would be Totoro. And that's my choice. Because I feel like you need a big old fluffy Totoro. And that's, that's like the best friend character that they're not, pet that I'm choosing to hang out with. What can't you say about Totoro? I mean,
right.
Not only
you're picking like a naps crew, man. Like
naps.
Naps. Yeah, just naps on naps, man.
That's true. I was just like, who would I legitimately want as a pet to like just be around?
Again, the couples would be incredible.
That's true. Yep. With all of my four, Niffler, Appa, Fluffy, and Totoro.
You would just be napping. All of you would just nap hard.
Yep.
Like
that's fine. That's totally fine. I wasn't intending that, but it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So Totoro's my fourth choice. And then wrapping up your team, who are you gonna choose, Allie? Now that Sean's stolen some of yours.
My last one. Did we already I don't remember. Did we pick the bat from Neverending Story?
No.
Pick him because I could also use him as transportation.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't remember what they're called. But
I respect it. I actually need to I need to re-up on that movie. It's been a minute and I want to remember exactly what the bat looks like.
My favorite thing about our podcast is Sean using the phrase, I just need to re-up on that movie as people talk about different films.
I'd say that, yeah. I mean, there's just so many good movies and I'm like, it's been 6 years. Yeah, the bat. There you go. I was like, I have like a vague image in my head, but couldn't get the face.
Does it have
that's
a name?
What I was missing. I know that it's like the hob thing or like the little goblin guy rides him. Yeah, the night hob. I don't know if the bat has
on Google when you say what is the bat's name in the Neverending Story, and it says Falcor the Luck Dragon. No, you've answered that incorrectly.
Yep, that's 100%. I'm looking at that same Google thing right now, and you're absolutely right. That's ridiculous.
That's so funny.
Solid choice.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's definitely a good one. Yeah. And you write it kind of like a. What was that?
I couldn't pick between my last two ideas.
What were your last two? Well, let's do it after we all pick, because we'd like to do honorable mentions. I don't have any this time, but I'd like to know after we choose what yours were. Sean, what's your fifth pick?
Is it me?
Also, really quick before you choose, isn't the bat? Don't you ride him like a wind, like a?
Yeah.
What are those called?
Yeah.
Hang gliding, like a hang glider.
Air glider.
Yeah, like a parasail. Yeah.
There you go.
That's just the best.
Right? It sounds wild.
Okay, Sean. What's your choice?
All right. We're gonna do. Can I pick Nessie? Can I just say Nessie? Is Nessie fine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want Nessie. I just have Yeah, I just want, in my head, I was like, I got air travel. Now I need travel by water. Yeah.
You can only travel in the lock because it's not
like Nessie was most likely a whale's penis.
Don't break my heart, Allie. Wait, what? I'm going to need you to elaborate on that.
So I don't know exactly I don't know if it's during mating season, but whales sometimes put their willies outside the water and it looks like the picture of Nessie. Because it like is obviously long and it curves and yeah.
you have me Googling whale penis right now.
and the kraken or whatever that sailors like the mystery of it could have also not been a squid tentacle. It could have been a
whale.
You know what's wild? That is so true. And looking at this whale penis on my screen right now, my screen is full of whale penis. I've never had this much whale penis on my screen before. And yeah, you're absolutely right. And I don't know what to do with myself. I feel like
I'm sorry.
A childhood love is like being shattered right now in the worst way that it could have been shattered. So
that's great.
Aliens.
Thanks for listening. Yeah, thank God. Fucking disclosure. What, we got a month? Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh man. Whale penis. Fuck.
I'm sorry.
Well, Sean,
that's a shirt idea. There's a shirt idea in there.
Whale penis. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh man.
While you tackle that loss that you just had, my fifth choice is going to be flubber. I feel like you need some fun. You need some chaos. You need some random happenstances happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
I'd say a rule bender, but I love it. I allow it.
I feel like, hey, he's a creature from a movie. And I feel like you would feel Robin Williams, like if you had flubber around, like not to bring up bad things, but I feel like you would have the Williams vibes around you. So yeah, flubber man. I know it didn't take our brains off of the whale penis, but
my screen is still full of so much whale penis. We got to get rid of
it's devastating.
It's just wonderful.
I was a kid that was like, I was obsessed. I would go to the library and get books on the Loch Ness Monster and stuff. And as I got older, it's okay. I like believed hardcore. I believed hardcore when I was a kid. And then as I got older, I was like, there's probably not a monster in the loch. But I was okay. That alone was hard enough for me, but I had come to terms with it. But then not only is there not a monster in the loch, it's just a whale penis. And
yep. I mean, there still are definitely sea monsters.
Yeah.
At least we still got the megalodon.
Yeah, exactly.
Get gory Corey here. Yeah. We got aliens. We got that. Mothman's real. Don't even try to tell. We're fine. It's fine.
Jersey Devil. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's okay.
Exactly. Well, that was a great game. We got some great choices. Definitely some ones that I wasn't thinking of. So that's great. Allie, thank you again for being on the podcast. This has been wonderful. We appreciate you coming on. Again, if you're listening to this, as always, like, subscribe, follow, whatever mode that you're doing. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. Again, mostly our movie night. We're out. Thank you guys for listening.
Oh, Steve.
Yeah. What?
You disappeared.
I disappeared.
I can't hear you. Can you guys all hear?
Yeah, I see.
Oh shit. What a terrible way for it to end. just do it without me.
That's so funny. Well, like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we will see you guys next week.